All right. Welcome on a beautiful Saturday morning. We are here. The team, the guys, the guys. These two guys right here, that guy right there, this guy right here, the dream team. We are the Coffee Break Podcast, back at it with another one. You know, I'm your host. This week I'm going to go by Slim Gildas Alexander. I'm going to be on that tip. I got the Pele on me, man. Come on, man. Tell him. I'm joking. Let me get off my high horse still. It's the month to start.
I have to match that energy. I have to match. Introduce me. Go.
All right.
Save me.
To my left, I got the man with the plan. He's dressed for it every time. He comes prepared. This guy, Mr. Net Worth of 6 figures and more.
Yeah, I got it from here. Jamelo Anthony.
Okay. Jamelo?
Not feeling.
What he should try getting yo. Carmelo Anthony, yo.
I don't know.
Yo, I hate it.
Slim Gildas Alexander was wavy, but like Jamelo?
No.
Jamelo?
I'm gonna go with LeBron James.
How about we just say LeBron Jama? All right? LeBron Jama.
Yeah,
that's your guy. You know, that's you.
That's my guy.
But I mean, you're wearing the Milwaukee Bucks green, so I have to say.
Like Giannis, still. Not a fan.
Jama Atentacumpo?
I don't need that type of last name.
Jama Atentacumpo? We could be starting a whole new wave with that. I'm just saying.
I'm good.
All right. But that's the guy, the man, the plan. His name is Jama. I got my other brother over here. You want to give yourself a little intro, or do you want me to give you the whole rollout?
Go ahead, please.
All right. Over here, we got Mr. Limited Edition. But his mind's unlimited. All right? He comes committed. And he talks different. All right?
Tell him.
Mr. Specs himself.
Yeah.
Straight from the ghost town.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Mr. Elmy. Who are you? Tell him.
I'm not gonna. He ruined the little the
I don't
little basketball name thing. I'm not going after Jamelo Anthony.
Jamelo Anthony's a cool name.
We're gonna give you the leeway to give yourself your name, since you always do that anyways. But go ahead.
I've been writing some shit down.
Okay.
It's in the works though. The rebranding.
The rebrand.
The rebranding of my name, because this now I'm on camera. This is the whole brand. This has to come with it. You know. Just like shout out to those guys in the UK. I've seen everybody has their own shit, but then they have a collective thing. So everybody has to be individual brands, but at the same time we all come together.
Okay.
You see me?
I hear you.
So that's what's in the works.
Okay.
Like the whole branding name. I was thinking of ruts, but there's a whole acronym there. But
trust the process, guys. Trust the process.
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
Yeah.
It's in the works. But we're back. We got another special episode for you guys. Finally, we've got some news this week. I don't know if it's the greatest news, I'm not gonna lie. We have some negative energy we gotta discuss here, guys. So I hope you guys brought your minds right. You know, it's been a long week. But so I don't know if you guys have been reading the timeline, but there was this incident that occurred in the UK. Right? I don't know if you guys know this Nigerian artist. His name is Omah Lay. I guess he's like a new upcoming artist. I heard of him like 2 years ago when he was like first coming on the scene. Shout out to my Nigerian friends. You guys put me on the map always. But so he's like a very like he's very much focused on R&B as well as Afrobeats. So a lot of his fan base is women, right? And a lot of his shows, he has a lot of like sensual dancing. He usually brings women on stage sometimes from time to time and serenades them and whatnot. Very much like Usher, you know, like our good friend Usher. I don't know if he's a good friend. He ain't a friend of ours, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that guy, he's been in the news this week because in the UK, he had a show and he picked out a woman to come on stage, as he normally does. But this woman was in a relationship and her man brought her to the concert, right? So she went on stage, she got danced on by Omah Lay, and then the entire crowd pretty much just took video recordings of this guy's face and his whole demeanor at the time when that was going on, even up to the point where when he was leaving.
The girl's man.
The girl's man, yeah.
Okay.
The girl's man, the guy who came with her to the show, while she was on stage, he was sitting there with the most saddest, depressed looking face ever. And the timeline went crazy. They were like, a lot of it was clowning the guy at first and saying, yo, how can you let your girl go up there? Is this even a real relationship? Yeah. And he got picked on like crazy. Fast forward a couple of days, the timeline had some time to kind of understand. A lot of people came to his aid saying that how could she do that? That's wrong. That's not even that's not even your girl anymore, and things of that sort. It got picked up all the way up until like Kai Cenat and that type of level of like mainstream.
Mhm.
So Kai Cenat had him on his stream. He set him up in a Zoom call with 20 other women
Mm.
for him to kind of get his get back, you know, and
That's
meet
crazy.
an actual girl that
Yeah.
really fucks with him and shit. And so he did that. He's been on like he like the guy himself, the guy who got wrong.
Yeah.
He's been on a marketing wave pretty much, you know, and he's been in commercials now. He's been on other TV shows discussing what happened, and he is just completely thriving from the reception that he's been getting. Right, the girl, on the other hand, is just no one really knows her. There's not really any news of stuff like that she's been doing. She was approached by Kai Cenat as well to kind of tell her side of the story, but she told him, "I'm gonna need compensation for this." And Kai Cenat said, "Kick rocks! What are you talking about? Get out of here."
That's crazy.
So the guy himself, like, this is an interesting scenario because normally when things happen to people on social media,
Mhm.
they get clowned for it, and that's the end of
And
it,
that's
right?
it, yeah.
But this guy, he went through the cycle of getting clowned and then getting supported right after, right? So this is kind of a new, interesting spin on how things go on the timeline. So, just based on what happened, I want to hear what your guys' opinion is. And what would you guys even do if that was you and your girl went on stage like that?
No.
We need to know, fam.
Firstly, shout out to him for sticking with his, like, not going on the internet crying, and that's the type of things that people do nowadays. Just go on the internet, try to tell their perspective, and end
Right.
up
Mhm.
looking crazy.
Mhm.
I don't know what I would do in that moment. If I would, that's you now.
That's
To me.
that's not my girl anymore.
That's Omah Lay. That's you. I wouldn't. I would just. I wouldn't be in that moment though, because I don't know if I would be that close to the stage and accessible enough for my girl to be. But I don't. That's a wave now though, with the Salt Bay guy, with Usher, and this guy now of just treating guys like they're not there and trying to basically flirt with the girl.
So you're saying there's a lack of respect
There's
for,
a lack of
for men in
respect
relationships.
for the men.
Yeah.
And why are you holding your face like that?
No, I'm listening. I'm
Nah.
listening. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
I see the eyes though.
I'm listening. Keep going.
Nah, but I wouldn't know what I would do in that moment. I wouldn't swing. I wouldn't act out of character.
Swing at who? You're not getting on stage to swing.
You don't know if I can get on stage.
You're not getting on stage,
pretty
brother.
crafty
The
guy.
security's getting you in 2 seconds,
Yo, you
bro.
see how big I am?
What? Fam,
You see how big I am?
broski.
Yo.
By the time it gets you to the stage, there'll be 5-6 security guards on you.
Is he that successful to have 5, 6
Well,
security guards?
he's a bigger artist. You know,
Yeah,
he's doing
it's
a
a
world
venue.
tour right now, and I would assume that he has the security to
Yeah.
handle off Mukhtar. I'll
I'm
be
big
real,
dude.
fam.
Fam,
Oh, you're not
one
big of a
security
threat.
guard is all it takes, bro.
You wouldn't be there right now?
I would still.
If your girl got on stage,
Huh?
if your girl got on stage,
Yeah.
I'm not riding for you, fam. I'm sorry, bro. That's you,
Someone has to catch it.
fam. You're gonna have to knock somebody out, but it's
Right,
not.
I'm sorry.
I
Listen,
can't even.
He
ride.
may not be there to support you. I'm gonna support you. We're gonna
I
look like
know.
we're gonna look
Nah,
like
man, look at
dummies
me.
together.
What am I gonna do
I
for you,
got
fam?
you. I got you.
Fam,
As long as they hit somebody.
So you need to square up with someone.
Somebody has to
Anyone, okay.
just randomly. Even if the security has me on the floor,
Bystander,
randomly.
it doesn't matter. Like, even if it's a bystander, you're hitting someone.
Just somebody has to get hit. Even if
Right.
it's the leg, some shit. Nah, but I don't. That seems to be a disrespect wave that's going on right now. I don't know. What do you think?
Brother, if my girl went on stage
Talk about it.
and danced on an artist, that's not my girl anymore.
Facts.
That's not my girl. No. That's delete my number. Delete any memories that you and I had. We are no longer in any form of relationship. Don't even look at me anymore. Because I honestly think, because I was looking at when originally it was funny, it was like a TikTok, and when you were looking at the comments, everybody was like clowning on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't really do anything. He was just walking in the background like this, just chilling,
He
watching.
was there with his head down.
Yeah,
like,
and
yo.
then everybody in the comments was like, "This guy's a waste man." And then the girls in the comments, some of them were like, "Yeah, what? If you go into these type of things, you should have fun. It's part of the experience. It's not like he's cheating on him. It's not about cheating. It's more along the lines of respect. Do you respect me? Like, you knew that people were gonna take their phone out, start recording you, and then zoom out and show me looking like a clown. And he was perfectly fine with him looking like an idiot.
Mhm.
While she's up there dancing on somebody who she doesn't even know just because maybe he's an artist, you know? Like I think the connection between that is absolutely crazy. And then like I know like what you said earlier, it's like a trend where people like big artists like Usher are bringing people on stage and dancing on them. And I think it's so much disrespect. And a lot of people say, no, that maybe that's your own insecurity talking. Why don't you feel comfortable with your girl?
I
If you
hate
guys
those.
love each other, what is 2 minutes of dancing on somebody else? No, no, no. It's about respecting me as a man. Do you like you know what the negative connotation is with you going up
Yeah.
and dancing on another person? You know, it's just a negative thing. And for you to put that on me, and for you to show me that type of disrespect, is this relationship even gonna go anywhere? You know?
I hear it 100%. And I'm even going one step further than you. I'm gonna say it is cheating.
Oh,
It is cheating. It's publicly putting yourself in the position where you don't look like you're in a relationship for your own gain.
yeah.
That's cheating to me. So I'm gonna, like you said, it's cut off right then and there. Like, so that's your man now. Good luck. I hope he takes care of you.
Yeah.
You're not coming home with me. I'm sorry.
But you know what I think he did wrong? I think staying is wrong.
Yeah, I
Like,
would have cut.
watch the second I see my
Forget
girl going
about
up the
staying,
stairs.
fam. I wouldn't have even come to the show with her, fam.
No. Like I think going to the show is fine, but the second that she kind of gets trapped in and walks up and starts to fam.
The
you
second
can
she
see me
asks,
walking out.
No.
the second she looks at me and says, "Yo, I'm going up," I'll be like, "You
I'm
go
out.
up there, I'm
I'm out.
going out there."
Yeah, 100%.
Dead ass.
He won in that situation though. Him staying is the only reason all this shit's happening.
Yeah.
I don't.
If he
I guess,
disappeared,
know.
but in the time
You
that
don't
that was
know that.
happening,
Yeah.
he was not feeling like he won anything.
he definitely.
So
didn't.
he definitely had to take the brunt of the
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 disrespect.
flack and all the disrespect that came with it
Yeah,
to get to the point where people started supporting him and where he started to thrive financially from
it
it,
worked
right?
out for him.
It worked out, but
It
in
did
this,
work out. But what are the like? Of course, if you get Kai Cenat's attention,
Mhm.
you're making it.
Mhm.
Like he had 300,000 people watching him live.
Mhm.
Some of that are gonna funnel into his personal social media, right?
Mhm.
And now because of that, his marketing is through the roof. He has so much opportunities. He has so much. And for her, another funny note: the fact that she was like, "Kai Cenat pay me." Like,
Crazy.
are you the fact that you were
Crazy.
on his platform?
Yeah,
That's a form of payment.
That is a form of payment. There
Yeah.
are thousands
No.
of people
That is a
who
form
are
of payment.
watching you.
there is a form of payment, but if you're gonna put her in a negative light and her to be up there sitting through that,
Yeah.
and the comments are gonna get in for weeks. Then
Okay.
comments are gonna be at her saying,
Then
"Oh,
that's
no,
her
no.
decision, though. She
It-
can say no.
Facts,
But
yeah.
she could say no, but
Yeah.
she said, if you want that type of interview, we want that type of live stream,
Yeah.
I should get some compensation for what I'm about to go through.
Let me tell you why I
I
disagree with you. Let
I
me tell you.
disagree.
Yeah.
It's because she was already receiving that type of comments on TikTok, on Instagram, on X. People were already talking shit about her. This was the perfect opportunity on one of the biggest platforms on the planet to clear that. Be like, hey, me and X, this is the reason why I did this is the reason why I did that. And for her to be, people would have clipped that, put it on TikTok, and humanized her, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
And for her to,
Especially women.
exactly,
Especially women.
for her to take her one opportunity to basically tell her side of the story because people are telling her side of the story for her and be like, I want some form of payment. Nigga, get out of
What-
here, bro.
what-
What are you talking
What
about?
could she say in that moment that would change the perspective of you disrespected your man by going on stage? Even if it said, oh, we got in a fight before, or oh, he should have been cool with that, or whatever it is.
To be honest with you,
Everybody's gonna have their own opinion
But-
about the situation
but-
that hasn't changed.
but even to that point that you're
Yeah.
just saying right now, even if she was to say something like we got into a fight, there's gonna be delusional people
Yeah,
that support
Exactly.
her. She's gonna have riders from that.
But what I'm saying is, the people right now, if we have a difference of opinion in politics or whatever it is, if we watch a video, no one's gonna change basically their opinion unless something drastic.
I disagree.
I disagree though.
I disagree.
I feel like her context or her side of the story would help her narrative a
Yeah.
lot.
We know-
Depending on whether she's right or wrong,
Yeah.
there's so much blind supporters out there
Facts.
for her even now. Like, dog, I saw a comment on TikTok that said, in support for her, when the thing was going on, they were saying that, oh, you men are so upset at a woman going on stage to dance with an artist, but you go to the strip clubs all the time and get lap dances. And I'm like, if you have values in your relationship, then going to the strip club will be wrong too, right?
Facts, yeah.
So it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's on a person to person or relationship to relationship type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not a standard for men that are in relationships to be able to go to the strip club and get lap dances on. That's only if your girl's okay with it, and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing. There's still blind, delusional supporters for her now.
But I'm saying that those people existed who are with her now before she even does anything, before she does live stream. So the people that would watch that and later on support her are primarily going to be the same people. No
There
one,
could be
a
new
lot of
people.
people are not.
I
gonna
disagree though.
I
A lot of
disagree.
there's going to be a lot of newfound attention
That's what I'm saying.
because like right now we don't even know what she looks like, fam.
Yeah.
We don't know what her IG is. We know this guy because he was on Kai Cenat's stream.
Exactly.
We got a chance to see his face, hear him speak.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
like even though he was in a proper connotation where he was respected and supported, we still know context about him because he was put on a platform, right? And the same way that would have that happened to him would have happened to her, even though that she's on the negative side of it, and more people would have a chance to go and follow her, look at her. Like there's a lot of weirdos on social media, fam. The second she would have said, "This is my IG," they would have went to her fucking last or photo from 2,000 weeks ago and been like, "Oh, she wasn't even with this guy before," and just made some context out of it. You know what I
Other
mean?
than the people that are perving that want to follow that
Mhm.
and go attract in that way, that actually a pretty girl. Because I don't know what neither of them look like. I heard the story and read the
She's a
thing.
beautiful woman.
She's
You know,
she.
she's hot.
I'm sure
She's
she is.
beautiful.
That's nothing. But other than those people, I don't see a lot of other people just following her because they're known from this. It's a moment. He was able to spin it. Shout out to him. But I don't see the same thing happen for her. And if she wants some security from this and saying that whatever happens from this, I want to get something out of it on my end, I don't find anything wrong with that. If you want to, she didn't mess anything up. She didn't say, "Yo, I'm suing you for having him on the platform." Nothing.
How can she?
No, but I'm saying she didn't do anything drastic other than saying, if you want me to be up there,
Mhm.
compensate me. Other than that, I'm cool without.
But I would consider that drastic.
That's not drastic.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because she doesn't have any leverage.
But she didn't have anything to affect him. It didn't affect him that she said no.
Broski.
That's not drastic. to me.
It's for her though. It's
Yeah.
not like he went as soon as she said no, fam. He got the guy to come on.
That's
He
that's-
had the guy first.
He had the guy on
Yeah.
first. Okay, so that's a
He,
different.
he wanted to show both sides of the story
Right.
because the way it looks right now is
Mhm.
prior to them even talking, he was a clown and she was kind of like this disrespectful person, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So when he got the opportunity to go on Kai Cenat's stream, he cleared it out and be like, "Yo, this is actually what happened," and people sympathize with
He
him.
won the society. back.
100%. So the fact that she saw this as an opportunity to be compensated instead of seeing the opportunities that come with Kai Cenat, because if you're going to be on Kai Cenat's stream, clippable moments. People are going to take everything that you say and put it on a platform where millions of people are going to see. In regards to only the low class people, not low class, but like little people knowing her now, she would have been skyrocketed. She could have took that opportunity and created a bunch of stuff for herself, like created a bunch of lines, like, you know, similar to the way that he's doing right now.
Mhm.
They both could have been up there.
But-
But now the fact that he took his opportunity and she saw this as an opportunity to be compensated instead of jumping on the opportunity, it's her L.
That could be, and we could wrap this section up. But I don't. Everybody's interest is not the same. Everybody's interest don't align. She may not want to be public like that. She may not want to be.
Then
She
you
doesn't
got-
want to be public. Why
just
she
say
dance
no.
on the mat?
No, other than that, she could have been on some shit that got her confidence up that wasn't up there. Not everybody wants to be on this whole run and all this other stuff.
Okay.
So if she decides for herself that this is what I want to do for me to come up there, I have no problem with
I
that.
feel like in
Alright.
business you got to read the room sometimes. If
You
you
have
don't have leverage, you can't go in thinking you do, and that's what she did, and ended up losing opportunities from it. So I feel like it's an L only in the sense that she could have had a bigger bag coming from this that she
Mhm.
lost because she wanted some compensation. So if she actually was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get ridiculed, I'm gonna get laughed at by the community, how can I gain from this financially? That was an avenue that she could have taken that she lost an opportunity on. So that's why I say that she was a little drastic in asking for
another
compensation.
last pivot.
Mhm.
The value of being on Kai's Cenat stream. The fact that she said, "Let me pay me," nigga. You know there are people willing to pay him thousands upon thousands of dollars to just get like 10 minutes of screen time. And the fact that she's like, "Yo, you pay me to be on your platform," nigga, he's doing you a favor. It's not like you're doing him a favor. He's giving you the opportunity to come clean. You know, and the fact that he's like, "Oh, pay me for that." Like, do you not see that little bit of like,
He's entitled.
yeah, like it's crazy, bro.
Okay.
There are celebrities that want to be on his stream.
And I'm sure he's paying them. They deserve to
so?
be paid, yeah, 100%. Nicki
Nah,
Minaj did
yeah.
not come for free. Fam.
Possibly.
I don't
yeah.
think
Nicki Minaj did not come for
Uh,
free, fam. I'll be
she-
100% honest with you. I'll put any dollar on
she
that.
was there for promo.
And she got paid.
I don't.
I
Maybe.
promise you,
I don't
brother.
think he
I
paid.
promise you, brother. Nicki Minaj is a
I
she's a
guys just stopped like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. He
Yeah.
just stopped.
He's good without.
and Jimmy Fallon and all those pay.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, then you know better.
They
Than
all pay.
He is good without her. I don't think that her stopping that he would have paid all that. She had something to promote.
He would pay all that.
Nah.
It boosted his stream.
It probably did because
Mm.
she's Nicki Minaj, but he was already skyrocketing before she got there.
Yeah.
So him paying her a bunch of money to come there to promote her own shit,
Yeah.
did nothing. It
I
did
disagree.
a lot for him,
Disagree.
but it did. That wouldn't make sense.
It makes logical
He has
sense.
the youth attention already.
But she has the leverage though. She's gonna boost this. Well, anyways, it's another conversation. It's
Yeah.
getting into the numbers. You know,
Yeah.
we're just clowning this guy. Yo, Omah Lay, yo, chill on that shit, bro. What's wrong with you?
It's not
man?
even his fault. I don't even think.
Don't be calling up girls that are with niggas, man. That's the problem. Like you were saying,
I
like
don't
where's
think
the
it's his fault.
respect?
I don't think it's. I know we're gonna wrap this section up. I don't think it's any fault of the artist.
If you are an artist and
Yeah.
you're picking out girls from the crowd that are with somebody or with a man, that's a problem, brother.
No, but it's like when I'm saying if I was an artist and I was performing, I don't have the time to see if somebody's with somebody. I just see
No,
the
no.
pretty person.
This is what you're seeing.
You think
Are you
they're like
going for?
that?
Are you going for that girl?
100%.
You're
No.
wow, you're a demon. You're a demon. You're a demon. You're a demon.
Do you know
Get
what the
outta
difference
here.
is, though? Kyle Kuzma got calmed down in Winnie Harlow when she said no to
Yeah.
Usher.
Mhm.
He could have had a girl that was planted in the crowd to bring up and then do all that. He didn't have to choose a random girl that he didn't know.
No, he picked
did-
celebrities in order for it to go viral. Though I'm pretty sure he knew it was.
Usher's is more
Extras.
premeditated. I think.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about this guy. He could have just planted a girl and brought her up there and did all this. The negative aspect wouldn't have happened then.
But now people know him. I've never heard of Omah Lay. Now I know. Maybe the fact that
Now you know to stay away from him.
now I
what?
know. Now I'm not going to his show.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere near that guy.
If your girl's an Omah Lay fan, watch out. Watch out. But yeah, so there's this, like I said, this week has been the week of negativity.
Yeah.
Right? We've got some crazy news from the P. Diddy lair, the dungeon, the place where he brings his enemies and his friends to rot, I guess. Anyways, he's been in the news this week for, this is his 5th lawsuit that's been filed against him, P. Diddy. And it's, the story is basically that he had an album that came out in September, October of this year.
Yeah.
And he assembled a bunch of relatively known producers to come together and help him out with the album and make some beats for him and whatnot.
And this is something he's done before.
Yeah, he's been doing.
successful in, yeah.
All the greats do this, man. They have like the OVO sweatshop. You know, like it's a bunch of like creatives coming together to help one artist succeed.
Facts.
Right. So this is what he had going on. A producer that was a part of that circle, his name is Lil Rod. He came out now and he's suing Diddy, saying that he wasn't properly compensated for his time there and that he was involved in a lot of weird and uncomfortable situations that he expressed that he saw while he was there, which he also included. He included some names of some notable figures in the Black community like Usher, Chris Brown, and Meek Mill as having relations with P. Diddy.
What?
You
That's-
know?
I
You know
don't.
that?
They be saying
Why'd
Meek
I cut
Mill.
you
They
off
be
guard
saying
like that?
they be saying Meek Mill and Usher and Chris Brown. and-
What?
yeah,
Chris
that was
Brown's
a wild one. I'm not gonna lie,
but
man.
Chris Brown's a blood and he fights. So that's the Meek Mill and Usher. There's questionable things that came out the last couple of years.
I'm just saying it was a shock to me too. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not shocked by your surprise in here, but like at the same time, the timeline has been very vocal about Meek Mill's involvement with this because he's Philly rapper, he's a street nigga. I mean, he's been.
Brown's a street nigga too. That's fine.
I mean, Chris Brown's an R&B artist. You know, like it's of the two between Chris Brown and Meek Mill, it'd be more believable in my opinion that Chris Brown would be, you know, undercover.
That's crazy.
But Meek Mill has come out on Twitter and we were talking about this earlier. He actually did deny the allegation.
Okay.
And I'll read his tweet in verbatim what he said because it's very interesting that Meek Mill is being alleged of all this.
That's insane though.
I know.
That was your guy.
Yeah.
Shit changed.
He said,
Oh my god.
and this is from Meek Mill's Twitter. He said, "I'm from Philly. I don't do coke or freaky ass Molly. Nobody won't even offer me coke because I'm that heavy. No man or what would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. woke up seeing this on every blog, like they know I'm coming out. LOL.
Coming out of what?
I just said LOL.
So I mean, the pressure got put on this story because DJ Academics, who also has a known issue with
Nah,
Meek
they
Mill,
pieced it up. Like,
and he boosted up. He went on his live stream saying that, oh, this is crazy. I can't believe Meek Mill is gay. And then the timeline just erupted. There's been so many random videos of Meek Mill that are resurfacing too, of him saying questionable weird shit. Like there was one clip that you were just talking about where he said losing a celly is like losing a chick. That's wild. That is how can you say that and then have these allegations against you? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of suspect weird things that are going on, but obviously the black community has a lot to say about it, and it's just been on the timeline. And I mean, this is the 5th instance of P. Diddy having an allegation or a lawsuit about this, right? Is there some truth to it now? Can we officially say that P. Diddy is a weirdo?
I think he was always a weirdo.
But is it
now,
official?
you know, the thing is, if enough people point fingers at
Mhm.
at some point there has to be some truth to everybody.
Mhm.
You know, like I know being a celebrity, you are a target. People at a certain point, when you're at a certain level, want to bring you down in a way where they can themselves levitate, right? So I understand being a target is a real thing, but if so many people are pointing their fingers at Diddy, calling him a weirdo, so many other names that I don't even want to say, at some point there has to be some truth to it. Like I think to some level, a lot of this stuff is possibly true. You know, like I don't know about the most recent people. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't until it's confirmed.
So you're saying you're still bumping Dream Chaser? All the albums are
100%.
You bumped a lot of
I'm still gonna bump it.
That's crazy.
But like I know the thing that happened with Cass. What is her name? Cassie.
Cassie, yeah. Mhm.
Like he settled that really quick
Real
because he didn't
fast.
want that to be, you know, public,
Mhm.
and in not knowing that it was going to be a snowball effect where everybody would be like, this happened to me too, this happened to me too. And now that there's so many people coming out and saying, this is what he did to me, it's giving the same type of thing that all these other people in the news kind of have done. Like, you know, Harvey Weinstein,
Mhm.
like R. Kelly. We talked about that a little earlier. Like, I'm noticing a trend, fam. And I have a short theory, not to like to navigate away from this conversation. I feel like when you're at a certain level of power and fame and wealth, things are different for you. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Squid Games, but to give you a short synopsis of everything that was happening, the Squid Games was a game designed for wealthy people to just watch poor people like go through these crazy games, right? I feel on some level, I think a lot of that is true, where wealthy people take advantage of like people below them and just use them as like puppets, you know? Like at a certain level, the rules are different for you. And I think similar to that, Diddy has just according to what's going on like to the news and stuff, he's just been taking advantage of people as much as he wanted to. And now that a lot of people are coming public and a lot of people have the courage to speak about the experiences that they've felt with this guy, like we're seeing the truth and the reality of a lot of these people with the industry. Like I think a lot of that is true, you know? That's just my point.
I love what's true though.
A lot of the allegations.
or the
I think a lot of that stuff is true, fam. You know? But it's different when a few people come on and say this happened to this happened. If like a whole horde of people are saying this person's bad, at a certain level, certain time, you have to believe there's some truth to it. You know,
Facts.
not everybody can be lying.
Mhm.
There has to be some truth to what these people are saying. You know,
Right.
and there's been so much history in the background of Diddy being called a weirdo, but of course, him being the person he is, he's able to brush that off easily, right? When you have enough money, anything can go away. But now,
Except 50 Cent.
except for that guy, you know. But even Cat Williams, what he said, remember
What?
in the interview with Shannon Sharp, he was like, remember he said like, you don't want to be in a room with Diddy because, you know, he's gonna pay you to do stuff you don't want to do, you know. And this was just a couple of weeks ago.
It wasn't Jay Farrow that video that went crazy with Waka Flocka.
Yeah,
We said stay away from that. Get that house.
exactly. Like I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like a lot of people have been saying this for a long time, but it's finally all the puzzle pieces are coming together,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like he's publicly being shunned together, you know. So
It's odd that this has been going on for as long as it has, though. Don't you think?
what do you mean?
Because P Diddy has had allegations, not necessarily just like gay allegations or anything. I'm just talking about just negative news about him for so many years. Remember, he got into that fight with Drake. He slapped Drake.
He slapped? I don't remember
Yeah, he
that.
slapped Drake.
do
He got into
remember.
a fight with J. Cole.
J. Cole.
J. Cole was riding out for Kendrick Lamar, and then P. Diddy and J. Cole got into a scrap.
Holy.
And
He's
then
going after my goats.
Fam, he took Wale and flipped him upside down in front of a balcony and said, "Yo, sign this right now, or else I'm gonna kill you."
Oh.
There's so many
These are,
stories.
Again, allegations.
These are allegations.
that
Yeah.
came out. Yeah.
And then like the Cassie thing, you know, like now then the Usher thing, you know, like there's just story after story after story after story. My question is, how has this been getting allowed for this long without being, but like without, like, is there no one stepping in at all that has some kind of sense with a figure?
We spoke about R. Kelly earlier. There was a video out for 20 years almost of him pissing on a girl.
Which is crazy.
And they just put him in prison like last year.
That's crazy to me that can just go on. Just wealth is just what provides you.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
wealth and people admiring and loving you for it. Because there's a big community. I love Diddy that their childhood was associated with Diddy in the Bad Boy era. And his name is still associated with Biggie and with Mace and all these beloved freaking acts.
Yeah.
So I think that takes away a brunt of a lot of things and cloaks them with some sort of, we trust him because he brought up so many childhood memories. So I think that takes away a little bit. And it's not only the money. It's not only the money that does it, because there's a lot of people with money that Harvey Weinstein, they threw him under the bus quick.
But that's the thing.
As soon as we found out who he was, they threw him under the bus.
That's a good point you're making, and kind of where I'm alluding to this is that why does this happen specifically in the Black community, where our moguls and our legends and whatnot, like they can do so much wrong, and it just goes right under everyone's noses, as opposed to like the Caucasian community. If something goes wrong with their, like Kevin Spacey, I don't know if you guys know about him.
Yeah.
The second they found out something wrong with him, there was an allegation, shunned from the community, never to be heard from again.
Go ahead.
The reason of that is there's an established Hollywood structure already built. This is what I believe, that there's some crazy shit that's happening behind the curtains that the mass audience may not be privy to. So when the Black billionaires get into certain rooms, it's either get with it or get lost, basically. I think that's what it is. So a lot of the stuff that Monique was even saying about Tyler Perry and about Oprah, and now these allegations about Diddy, they have to acclimate their personality to a certain room for them to be accepted in a certain way.
I agree.
Yeah.
My theory though is that, like I was talking about this when we had the episode about Cat Williams. I think that when Black people have whistleblowers, and what I mean by whistleblowers are people that are the voice for the voiceless, you know? They see something going wrong and then they're not afraid and they're courageous enough to speak on it. That's something that Cat Williams and Monique do very well, right? I feel like when we have that in our community, it doesn't necessarily like that. Those people that are speaking out, their voices aren't as supportive to the issue itself as it would be for like an example in the white community. When somebody gets called out in the white community, in my opinion, their community just completely rides and says, all right, we're going to take the moral high ground and get this guy out of here. But in the Black community, I feel like they just give them so much chances and so many times that people can have flaws in them where we give them the pass and they're still a respected person in our community.
I don't agree with that. I think it's equal on both sides, first and foremost.
Okay.
To counter your first point, to push back, for the white community, the dude who's responsible for the movie Taken, you know that guy, I will find you and I will
Liam
kill you.
Neeson?
Yeah, like that guy is publicly known to be a racist.
How?
Like there was a story that came out a while ago where he was like, I think there was something bad that happened to a family member of his. And he was like, I'm going to go to a Black community and just hold a baseball bat.
Yeah, apparently.
And I'm going to.
Yeah, someone he loved in his family got, or a friend of his, and they described it as a Black man, this and this. So he went to the local hood.
Yeah, and he said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And another major person, it's one of the action dudes. He's on the same level as The Rock, Kevin Hart.
Statham?
Currently right now?
Yeah, for off the
Jason
top.
Statham?
No, off the top of my head, he's like he's one of
Chris
these muscle guys. He's known to have this crazy schedule that starts at 4 a.m.
Mark Wahlberg?
That guy. He's known to be like, he publicly was a piece of shit growing up. Like there are
I know the racist.
there are cases of him.
Name me something that's not race related in the white community though.
Why though?
Because that's something that's something that's acceptable for them.
No, but the point I'm making is these two people that I just mentioned off the top of my head are known to be garbage piece of shit at times. I'm not saying they are, but the white community has still given them platforms to create movies, billion-dollar movies.
Yeah, because Hollywood is racist.
Okay.
That's something that's accepted. I mean, I'm not saying that that's something that's right, obviously, but that's something that's known, that they prefer white people in entertainment than black people, right? And if
Sure.
somebody is going to be racist, that's not. I don't think that that's going to be a barrier for them in Hollywood or in entertainment. But if they do, but mind you, if they do abuse someone physically, right, they are getting washed off the scene immediately.
Bro, he punched out an Asian woman or an Asian man. Mark Wahlberg. He literally punched out. I think it was either a Filipino or a Vietnamese man.
I've never heard of this actually.
Yeah,
this is
like
news to me.
Google that. Like he literally punched that person out.
Because he was Asian?
I forgot what it was. I know he was a teenager at the time.
Yeah.
But he still went on to be a very successful actor. You know? Like why didn't his community take a couple steps back and be like, we don't want to be associated with that? Like that's an example of somebody, to your point, who is just a garbage piece of shit.
Right. Yeah. But I feel like it's more like it's more acceptable for the white community to shun people for their wrongdoings rather than the black community. And so I'm just talking about on a legendary, like on a high respect, high regard level. That's a theory of mine that seems to be like, because I look at a lot of the news in pop culture, right? Not necessarily just the black community. When something goes wrong on that side, they're quick to say it's wrong. They're quick to be like, we're not fucking with this anymore. This person's out of here. As soon as Harvey Weinstein got in the news, boom, get him out of here. No, we're never, he's in jail.
There were so many years prior to that.
I'm not talking about the act. I'm talking about the expose of it, you know? Once it gets to the mainstream, it's done with. Like, we ain't doing that. We're not with this. Yeah. But we have guys like Diddy. We have guys like even Usher, you know? Like, he had the whole herpes allegations and whatnot. Like,
it's not his fault.
That's his fault, nigga.
Like, why you
niggas giving herpes to people?
It's not the same level like these guys. That's just a disease.
It's transmitting sexual. I don't even want to talk.
I don't know if he did.
I'm just saying, there's just so much instances in the community where we know of people's wrongdoings and they're still accepted.
Yeah,
that's so odd to me.
The main difference. First, I want to address the first part you said. Elvis is someone that they hold in a high regard that married a teenager. So
what?
That's something that's known, and he's still held as a high regard. They just dropped a movie on him last year, 2 years ago. But there's such few black people that get in the door, that get to certain plateaus. That's why they're willing to give them so many chances, because they know out of 300, 3 will get in.
Right.
And
that's a good point.
Then if you knock those 3 off, there's going to be years without one being up there.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The numbers are very much not in our favor
at all.
That's true.
They're still saying what? This has been years. This statistics have been out there that black people are only 13% of America, and this has been a statistics that's been out there. And I don't know if that's still the case, but the fact that there's such small percentage of America, and then there's such a big number of them in prison, and then you look at the Hollywoods, and that's why Castanets and the new generation are such champion, because there's now a lot more that's getting through the door that way.
I see what you're saying. That's a very good point, actually, because we're very much the minority in the entertainment or Hollywood industry, right? So that's a good point to stand on, because if we have less than we already, like, if we have less in comparison, then we're probably going to support more because of that, right? But my question is, like, does the black community not have a sense of core values? You know what I mean? Like, when stuff like allegations like P. Diddy come out, why are there people that are, like, you know, coming up with these like timelines of what happened to justify these people? And like, I see so much of this, you know? So I feel like that's just odd to me, you know? Right?
Also, sorry.
Go ahead, yeah.
There's another, because a lot of people lied on a lot of black people's names as well.
Right.
Like this thing, what was Kong's name again? Jonathan Majors. That girl, the videos looked weird of how she was chasing him down the street. All of a sudden, she's on the floor, OD'd.
She was the aggressor. She was the aggressor,
but it came out that he beat her up in a cab. And then they were not even in the cab. And then all this other things happened. So a lot of people's name freaking Nelly's name got lied on, and he ended up suing the girl back because she put dirt on his name. So we have, like, they are willing to weigh how true is this?
Right.
Because a lot of our people got stained forever. And it was not even true.
Honestly, you may have just changed my whole judgment on this topic. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
because we are the minority. I never really thought of it like that. We are the minority, and we're already being purposefully held back
Mhm.
in succeeding.
Mhm.
So it's in the best interest of the Black community to seek real knowledge before making a judgment or decision. And that could be looked at in a way where it's like you're blindly supporting somebody who's already committed a foul act, right? So that's kind of where my confusion was. But not gonna lie, you just made it clear for me.
That's the negative of the freaking pages like the Shade Room.
Mhm.
Shade Room pushes out so much negative about the Black celebrities and the Black people and whoever that it's starting to like. I used to work security at night, and all I used to watch is CP24 that was on the screen, and that made me think, yo, we live in a horrible city because all I'm seeing is the freaking destruction that's happening in the city
Mhm.
years ago.
Mhm.
And if I don't see anything, they don't post positive shit.
Yeah.
They only put on the news what like people shock and awe. You know? Yeah.
An interesting time we're in right now. Like the news is very negative.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
News?
Mm-hmm.
It's what sells, bro. People don't want to see positivity.
When did that shift happen?
I think it's always, to some level, always been like that, because what sells is what people who like drama. Like, think about it, like, even with what we consume. Do you watch positivity shit, or do you watch like drama? You know,
Yeah.
drama is what people get so associated with and what people love, because it just works on so many levels, and it's like, this is what I want to get into. If it's positive shit, it's like, I don't need to see this, bro. You know, but in reality, I would love to see that positive. I don't know about y'all.
I
It's
just
what
feel like there's been it probably happened right under our noses, but I don't think even social media, like when we first got on social media, it wasn't just about drama. It was more so about like not necessarily positive stuff either, but it was just like an open access to someone's mind. You know, like, oh, I like doing this. I'm doing this. Like Twitter, when it first started, was just your thoughts or what you're doing. I'm eating right now. And now it's like, oh, I can't believe Omah Lay's girl, blah, blah, a whole essay about
I
it.
disagree on that.
You know?
Even if you look at YouTube trends, look at very back like 2010. What used to be popular? Like pranks.
Yeah.
People used to go somewhere and prank the hell out of people,
Mhm.
like for the longest of times. And then when it came to like the gaming industry, like think about what type of games go viral. It's the type of games that have a lot of fighting stuff in it, right? Like it's never positive
But
shit.
that's not necessarily
And it's a way
what
that our mind kind of connects with
But that's not
what's
necessarily
interesting.
what I'm discussing. It's more on the lines of like personal issues
Mhm.
coming to the forefront, right? And that being the mainstream media, right? Like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian had a divorce, a messy divorce.
Yeah.
It was everywhere, plastered everywhere, as opposed to back probably in like early 2010s, you'd only see that in like magazines or
Okay.
tabloids and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Now that's kind of taken the lead of this is the mainstream media now.
Let me ask you a question, just to test this theory.
Okay.
Which article would you rather read? Would you rather read the Obamas going on a family vacation, or would you rather hear a article about how Barack Obama cheated on Michelle Obama?
Neither.
You would, okay,
Neither.
really?
Yeah.
That's some real shit. Neither.
Neither. I don't care about
If
them.
you were to pick, if you were to
I
pick one of
don't
them,
give a fuck about
okay, let
them.
me change the question. Which do you think people would rather read?
I think they would rather read the negative news.
Okay, you see, that's the reason why I
Mhm.
sell is because people want to see how people can drag somebody down.
But I'm not debating that that's
Yeah.
the news. I'm asking, when did this shift happen?
I'm saying it's always been like that.
It's always
I
been like
disagree. I disagree. I feel like it's gotten sensationalized, you know? Right? Because I do agree with your points. You guys are right. It's always been like that. Negativity has always sold, right?
Mhm.
But it's on steroids now, to the point where that's the only news sometimes, you know? Like this whole episode, we're just talking about negative shit, the entirety of it so far, right? So it's like, when did it become, you know, like the only news? You know?
Paparazzis have whole jobs following people just to see them do some stupid shit. That was a whole thing way before social media.
I know, but it's grown,
Yeah.
right?
It's grown because the internet is a bigger platform than magazines were.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone across the world can see some shit that happens in America instead of just on newsstands in America.
Right.
So I think it's just a bigger platform for
Mhm.
what exists. Like people that say, "Oh, money makes you more, a lot more than what you already are."
Right.
It's just the attention brings out what's already there.
And it's also a different type, like the internet, specifically social media, is a different type of medium where you're not just consuming information, you're also giving your opinion, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of people, they read a headline, they read a tweet or something like that, and then you'll see 200 replies of people saying, yeah, you're right, yeah. And then that's kind of like the group think, you know, it's like a sheep herd mentality.
Mhm.
And then that's where the story gets sensationalized, as opposed to they don't really know what the opinions of the magazine buyers have,
Yeah.
right? They don't know the opinions of the newspaper. So it's kind of grown or snowballed into that. Now where it's like the stories are coming out and they're very much clickbait stories, you know, like headlines that are, you have to get a lot of context to find out what's going on. But the response that people have from it is so much quicker and so much more consumable than ever, that it's now getting to the point where that's all that's being out there. So it is an interesting time to be in right now.
It's like food. Like when you eat an apple, that thing it passes by you. But there's a certain phrasing that comes with soul food that sticks to your ribs. There's certain things.
But
Huh?
wild analogy. I'm not gonna lie.
It
Digestive
works.
system?
It works, right?
It does work, but it's like,
When if you see something positive,
Mm.
oh, that's nice, and you walk by it. If you see something like Diddy's allegation, you're gonna be thinking about that at least half that day.
Mhm.
See, oh, that's wild that Diddy did all that stuff. Diddy
Yeah.
that was did all that stuff with Biggie and that Diddy that it sticks with you.
You know, that's why I unfollowed everything that's related to gossip. I used to
Yeah.
follow the Shade Room.
Nah,
I used to follow like Six
Back in the
Buzz.
yeah.
I used to follow like all these other Toronto accounts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I just think that's the only thing that they push. I feel like they only push negativity. I think that's how they monetize their platform.
100%.
And I don't want to be a part of that, you know? That's why I've been following more like positive stuff. Like the last post off the top of my head was just you know what I really like? It's the Humans of New York. You know those people?
The Humans of New York.
Yeah, it's an Instagram page where it just showcases an individual and their storyline, and
Oh, I love
it
those
talks
pages,
about just like the last one I was talking about how this elderly man loved his wife so much that even when she passed away, he still goes to her grave all the time and you know presents her flowers because that's the
That's
type of
nice.
love, you know.
I more so don't like, my social media is tailored to me in a sense where it gives me a lot of information. Like, you know, like you're saying how you're very much a historian, you like history.
Yeah.
I also like history too. I like seeing like those, like, did you know, like, everyday fact, Uber
Uber
facts,
facts,
you know,
yeah.
stuff like that. And then, as well as like, I like hearing like advancements and like just society. Like, I like information, you know. I don't like to ever, not necessarily ever, but like, I don't like my social media to be about other people's lives, even on a positive scale. Sometimes I'm like, I
Really?
just don't care, respectfully, you know.
I like the only thing, my only trait is as long as it's good,
Yeah,
I don't mind.
yeah.
You know.
I think in my opinion, it's more what's relevant, you know.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I'm geared to. But it's an interesting phenomenon that we're in a timeline where
Yeah,
gossip and whatnot is the thriving topic every week, you know.
I'm somewhat in between. I do like seeing the advancement, things like that, but I really enjoy those. Like, there's a guy that goes to people and says, "How you guys met," and then just the beaming, even if you don't give a just the happiness that comes on the couple's face
Yeah.
of them explaining their story.
Yeah.
Just that, we don't know if they were just in a fight or whatever. That moment could have just brought that love back to that couple, and that's really dope. But then I
Facts.
do enjoy seeing like Samsung. You seen that they're coming out with a ring that's sort of like an Apple Watch,
What does it do?
where it tracks a lot of the stuff that's going on and your steps and things like that, but also give you updates. They're trying to make the Apple Watch smaller. And
Miss me
just
with
crazy.
that. Miss me with
That shit's
that.
crazy.
Really, I
A
thought you would
smart
like
ring?
That. I thought you would like that.
A smart ring.
Yeah.
What am I gonna? Oh, my heart rate is 2.
Okay, I
don't
know
care.
you like accessories. That's right.
I don't even wear an Apple Watch for that reason. It's an unnecessary accessory.
All right.
You were Apple Watch?
Never.
Oh, I
You
think
have
you
one?
did.
I had it for like a day. It's not for me though.
Why
Yeah,
don't you like it?
I just don't like something being paused.
that's it.
Nothing else.
Where is that even leading, bro? Where's that even going?
Never mind.
God damn. Man said, I can't wear Apple Watch. Pause. What the fuck?
Never mind.
That's a wild sentence. I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
That's
I was about to say get down or lay down before.
Whoa.
I know he was.
Whoa.
Remember?
Whoa.
I had to stop.
What?
That's a pause.
Wild.
Nah.
Flagrant. Okay, let's keep it tame, guys. Let's keep it
Okay.
PG.
We
you know?
have
I have a question for you guys. You know, it's kind of staying on topic of what we've been discussing this whole time. What stigmas do you think should end in the Black community specifically?
what do you think?
I think, okay, so I think that there's a stigma about Black people in our community that we tend to see other people's things and either get jealous or want that for ourselves. You know, I feel like that's a stigma of ours where we do a lot of like people watching.
Evil eye?
Evil eye, you know? I think that's a stigma of ours where we do that a lot. And I don't necessarily see a lot of people I know doing that, you know? And I think that that's kind of a negative connotation on us for no reason to some degree, right? But online, when you go online, some people's lives are just based off of what celebrity news is, you know, like what couples are in the news, and people just form their identities based off of that. So I think that that's something that we need our own identity. We can't be identifying off of what we think of other people. You know what I mean?
Never really associated us with that. Yeah, I see your point though. For me personally, I think the stigma that I want to end is like, are you black enough? You know,
Mm,
like I think that could be broken up into a bunch of different branches, but the idea of always having to prove that you're black, or are East Africans even black? You know, like just because my hair is softer, or I don't have some of the traits that West Africans have. You know,
mhm.
am I really black? I think that's another thing. And then also light skin versus dark skin. I think that whole conversation is so stupid because we're just compartmentalizing each other into different areas instead of just coming together as one community. You know, like people are always trying to figure out how to divide rather than, conquering together. You know,
Facts.
I hate the conversation that, are you black enough, or is your skin color light? Are you even considered black? You know, like people always want to discredit you for who you actually are, and I think that's a conversation, and that is a whole movement that I think should be deaded, and just the community together should always be like collective. I think we should support each other rather than break each other down.
1,000%, 100,000%.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
and to that point, um, I think that okay, there's an issue, and I was just reading this online. There's an issue with the black community where I feel like if you're from a household with a broken family,
Yeah.
you're looked at as less, or like you're looked at as somebody who's had a tougher, harder life, probably won't understand certain like little things, you know?
Mhm.
And that to me is wrong because like I see some people who thrived in a single parent household, you know, and people who are just miles ahead of society because they're, you know, their hard work and the grind they put into their life, you know? And it's taking away from the support of the mothers that are helping out their sons, you know, or their daughters, you know? So I feel like there's that stigma that we don't necessarily do well when
Mhm.
the household is split,
Yeah.
and that's not
That's another great one. I hate the deadbeat father stuff.
right. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
my father, personally, I'm talking about my own experience. I don't think there's a better man that I know than my dad. Like
mashallah.
the traits, the person he is, the person who he raised me to be, like everything. I honestly don't know if I ever met a better person than my father,
Yeah,
and I hate that when people talk about it in the masses, it's like black fathers are trash.
hmm,
I don't know what you're referring to because the person who I know is a blessing that I received from my creator, right?
right, right.
So, and to even those who don't have, like, I remember I used to be like, I will say that I was part of the people who used to be like, yo, you don't have a dad, shut up. Like
Oh, I remember that.
I used
Used to be
to,
funny.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm guilty of that. But
Yeah.
looking back, like I'm very much ashamed of what I used to do, like to those people. Like it was unkind of me, like
yeah.
why did I say that? Why did I really do that? Was it
It
my
is
own?
to be honest with you, like it's a personal dig. It's a
Yeah, like
real
it's so
personal dig.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's a real like because I remember that era too. A lot of people were like,
You don't have a dad.
"Oh,
shut
you don't
up."
have a dad." Blah blah. And then some of those people were actually like, you could see the looks on their faces changing, but they're going along with it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know that nigga, blah blah. But it's like, no, that's something that that's crossing the line.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
literally making a comment about somebody's entire come up
Yeah.
in one sentence, just shitting on them. And it's like somebody can go home and really internalize that in a different way, and it can have a real effect on them. So yeah, you're right. We have this weird issue where we think there's the stereotype of the black dad ain't shit,
Mhm.
you know, missing father figure and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a real disgusting stigma that goes on, man. I'm not gonna lie.
How about you?
With this, I think both of what you guys said, it's stuff that was instilled. That's a trauma that's been around though. That's the image that were pushed, and then the I think media itself has this thing of rehashing what's already been there.
Mhm.
So the image was put in by white people, and so it's called Jim Crow and slavery. All the way back then, they take the black man out the household,
Mhm.
and then that became a bonding moment of, oh, we are community. We may not have fathers, but we're community. We uplift, and then that was put into music, and then people. I think some people put it into a positive aspect of coming into the community and being an image for these young black kids, and saying that, okay, you guys may not have some sort of leadership in the household, but this is what I've come up learning, and this is what we can do together, and
Mhm.
trying to teach them things. So there is positive aspects to it, even though it's a negative overlying thing.
Yeah.
But you're right, like champion, like Uncle Phil was someone in the 90s that is well loved, and to this day James Avery's associated with that one character,
Yeah,
Right.
rest in
because that
peace.
one character was, even though Bill Cosby was tainted, he's still an image that's standing.
Yeah,
Uncle Phil,
the
huh?
the on-screen actor, right?
The on-screen
Yeah.
actor, because of that. And there was that whole moment where Will Smith and James Avery were hugging, and even Will Smith in that moment was saying that, yo, like, he was in my ear whispering, "That's how you act."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, as a, regardless, we don't know the man who he was.
Mhm.
We only know the character. But if Will Smith coming out after that and saying that he was trying to coach me, and he was trying to push me as an actor
Mhm.
to bring out that type of emotion, and then praised me afterwards, low key, with no one hearing. They're live in front of an audience.
Yeah.
No one else heard that except him. So that's an important image to push. And I like that. To this day, I think, what was that show with Anthony Anderson?
Blackish.
Blackish. Blackish pushed a present father, even though him and his father had some certain problems
Yeah.
in their own interpersonal thing. I liked the moments where they gave Lawrence Fishburne's character his moments of being like a leader and a father, and
Yeah.
coaching his own son in his household, that this is how you should act. This might have been a negative aspect in your upcoming, but this is how it was approached, and this is how I did wrong,
Mm.
and this is what you're doing positively. So I really, I like your answers, and I like the perspectives. My thing is I I think we should champion each other more. I was talking to someone yesterday, saying, I sent them a long ass text message saying that, yo, this, we should boost each other, because not everybody has someone that's gonna say, yo, you're doing right. Even if I don't care about what you're doing, the fact that you're happy, like I was saying about that couple shit, the fact that you're happy and you're prideful about what you're doing makes me happy.
Mhm.
There's nothing that pisses me off more than someone's dry face when I'm excited about some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Me, I'm an offbeat guy.
Mhm.
You guys know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get excited about random shit, and I
Yeah.
might not get excited about some shit that everybody else likes.
Yeah.
But if I'm happy and if I'm overjoyed about a subject, they'll bring me down with your face.
Right.
That's
Your
correct.
words may be one thing, but your face is saying something else.
Right.
Fake a smile.
I got you.
That's your fake smile? That's your fake smile?
I have a great fake smile, by the way. Nobody would ever know I'm faking it.
Yeah.
But not to navigate from this conversation, I feel like another tidbit that we have, and we'll wrap up soon, is I feel like we have better role models in today's world that are more accessible to the youth. I think Kai Cenat, I know we talk about him all the time, but I think he is.
That's your guy, right?
Yeah, fam. The whole A&P people, Agent, Duke, whatchamacallit, Kai Cenat. Like, I think they are such a champion of a whole generation. Like, they could be terrible people. Like, they're millionaires. They're very wealthy. They are success through the roof. By the end of the day, they are some of the most grounded, humble people. Like, there was a video that went viral of Kai Cenat recently just going to a random gym. And somebody came up to him like, yo, Kai, can I get a video? Blah, blah, blah. And the man was out here being like, yo, you look amazing, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Like, there isn't a time where his humbleness does not take the forefront of his mind, you know? And I feel like with thousands of people seeing that type of role model and seeing this type of person, they can imitate and kind of take stuff away from that, right?
Mhm.
So I really think we're in next coming up, like generation, what is it? Generation X or something. Like they have
Gen
such, yeah, that's what they're
Wow.
called. Like they have such a good role model.
You're Gen Z.
Is that what it
Gen
is?
Z.
I think they're one below us.
So that's the
Yeah, like
coming up now.
I think they have such a good role model and so many different groups to look at to grow into better people, you know,
Yeah,
and to take away a lot of this bad stigma in the Black community.
that is
Yeah.
true. I feel like there's probably is a shift going on, but I don't think it's gonna like I don't think in our lifetime at least we're gonna see an even playing field for Black people. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna take some time for that to happen. You know, because these stigmas are real and they, like you said, they're history, like they're from history, right? Jim Crow, like slavery, all these things are being passed down and they're slowly being kept in these communities to stigmatize Black people even more. I'm going to share you guys a short story that happened to me this week. This week, I went to the bank and early morning, because I'm looking for a new place to move to. So I went to the bank to deposit a large sum of money, right? I'm a young Black man with braids,
Mhm.
right? Of course, I'm thinking to myself, this is probably going to look weird. I have a little like paper bag full of cash and I'm
Yeah.
depositing all this at once.
You actually have a paper bag?
I did. I actually had a paper bag. Because that's how I be keeping my change, man. Like, what the? It
Yeah.
was in a safe. I put it in the paper bag, like took out, you know? But I was expecting there to be some kind of a pushback, you know, already initially, just of how I'm looking because of the stigma. I was able to get my transaction completed, but the teller that was in front of me put me through a ringer of questions. 21 questions in a
Like
row.
what?
Like, where do you work? Where do you tell me your most recent pay stub amount? Give me a certain transaction that was done on your account. Like, she was making sure to verify me and vet me so much so. And I'm depositing money, right? I'm not withdrawing the money. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. My next task that I had to do at the bank was to increase my e-transfer limit, right? Because I'm going to eventually be paying rent and I need to increase my limit. My limit increase was a very small increase. And the teller told me, no, I can't do that for you. Your account won't allow you to do that. I said, my account won't allow me to do that. I've been with this bank for 13 years. I've never heard anything like that before. What have I done to, put me in jeopardy?
You have a student account or an adult?
No, I have the actual adult, like I pay the monthly bill and everything, I even have a credit card with them. Like
Damn.
I'm a client of theirs for
Yeah.
many years. So I said, that can't be true. So she said, you can speak to my manager, but he'll tell you the exact same thing. I said, bring the manager. Manager came out, nice Filipino guy. He came through, he sat down. He was like, hey, Mohammed, I heard about this, Bob. What do you want to do? Oh, you want to increase your... Done, right there.
Yeah.
2 seconds. He said, oh, sorry about the mishap. The lady that said no to me was sitting right there the entire time. Her face completely changed when the manager came there. First, she was giving me the no, you can't do that. Your account won't allow you. Trying to,
Yeah.
diss me, trying to see me off and shit. Her face was super stern. When the manager came, smiling at me, making making light of the situation. Like she didn't just fuck up right in front of me.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, whatever. I got my shit done. I was cool, whatever. Boom. Left that place. And I had this conversation with my brothers, actually. I said, I'm going to have business to do at that bank next week. I'm going to go to that teller. I'm going to go right up to her and be like, yeah, you remember me? If she gives me any pushback or any issues from there, then I could tell you for a fact that this person has an issue with people that look like me.
Yeah.
That's a guaranteed fact because we already had an issue. She was proven wrong, resolved it. If you were to double down now and cause issues from here on out, then that's justifying or that's confirming that you follow this stigma towards Black people.
Yeah.
So it still exists. We still deal with that on a day-to-day basis. Black people are still going to be looked at as, especially if you're a young male with like dreads or braids or anything like that, you're going to be looked at as dangerous, and that's something you have to carry. So it sucks that we're living in that, but you got guys like Kai Cenat, the AMP guys, that are showing what we look like in a positive light. So society can see us in a different way. So I don't think it'll change in our lifetime, but we're getting there. I feel like we're making the correct strides and the correct steps in media and entertainment and just day-to-day life where people can be like, my family probably thought that person was dangerous, but I've had enough experience with people that look and sound like this that they're not, So I feel like, there's that shift happening.
Before we wrap up, we'll shout some more guys out. Byron Allen.
Who's that?
Billionaire. Trying to buy the Weather Channel. I think he's in association with that.
Okay.
I think he was trying to buy BET recently. Russell Westbrook is building a whole
I heard about that.
house.
I heard about that.
Affordable house layout. In,
180
South Central.
homes he's building.
And freaking building community centers, building whole making a whole booming area. Freaking Jalen Brown got his $300 million contract and said, "Yo, we're bringing Black Wall Street to freaking Boston."
Fire.
There's certain people out there that may not. We just may have to look into what they're doing because the other guys are right in front of us and they're freaking social media darlings. But there's certain guys that are doing other things that are pushing. And I love how you gave your father a shout out. Like we all have relationships with our father.
Yeah.
They're big in our lives and they're leaders and they teach us. They have taught us a lot, and that's an important relationship that I'm happy to have, and
Me too.
I'm sure you guys are as well.
1000%. And that just goes to show you that these stigmas are slowly getting knocked off because we all look at our fathers as role models and father figures, right? So alhamdulillah, we can say that we're blessed in our lives to have that. So we can push the narrative forward that exists. You know what I mean? Like you shouting out your dad right here, you acknowledging that, and us just having this conversation will probably get to somewhere where someone who doesn't have that can look at it and be like, oh, okay, that exists. That's a real life that people can have, you know, as opposed to that being a myth. So with that being said, I feel like that can wrap up this conversation here. Another positive one, guys. Thank you guys for your time and efforts. But yo, we're the Coffee Break Podcast. I'm your host, Slim. These are my guys.
Yama.
Elvin.
We'll see you next week. And if you haven't already, please go down, subscribe, like, share this video. I know you're watching on TikTok. Stop scrolling. Like this video. Follow us. I know you're on Instagram. I see you on Instagram. Yo, like this reel and follow us. See you next week.